So let's try this. You're going to end forever wars, but get us into wars forever. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Divided America. I'm George Sisca. We have so many domestic problems we're dealing with today. We have rising healthcare costs, absurd government spending, that damn Jeffrey Epstein fiasco. Remember that thing that we were talking about for a lot? But here we are, wagging the dog again. Exactly what we have been talking about live every Tuesday here on Divided America. We have to start with the art of the steal, right? Some negotiator we got as president, the creator of Art of the Deal. I finished a book. I told you guys I was reading the book. I finished this book. It was pretty, self-aggrandizing, to say the least. I need to read a counter book because as good as it was, like it described how he built up New York in his way, but there's always a counter opinion. Yesterday, this United Nations held a Security Council meeting, and the United States, couldn't have looked any weaker. It's sad. It really is. It takes a lot for Russia and China to be denouncing our aggressive tactics, right? Like, imagine that. We're being lectured by some of the craziest countries in the world. And what you're seeing on TV and online, excuse me, let me back up. Today, the New York Times is reporting. I listened to them today. I listened to the Daily and I listened to the headlines. Listen to someone that's on the ground in Caracas, right? He's there. So I don't take the word of people online, commenters. We're going to get to the commenters in a little bit. I got something for you guys. We here at Sisca News Network, we rely on our own two eyes, our own reporting, and people who are there on the ground. So this New York Times reporter is there, and he's saying on the record that there are no mass jubilations going on in Venezuela. What's that? Everybody here is there. You guys, everybody that comments on my stuff really says that you guys are really positive, that they're all very happy. What you're seeing on TV and online are the millions of displaced Venezuelans around the world. They'd love to go back to their country. But the streets of Caracas are abnormally dead right now, like an apocalypse movie. This is, again, not my word. This is the New York Times reporter that's there. Now, this is a city of, 4 million people, 5 million people, so it's usually pretty bustling, right? For it to be, there's no mass general weeping either. Now, it's just a general of atmosphere of quiet tension, to quote the New York Times reporter that's there. I'm sorry, I did not get your name while listening. I apologize. You know, why do I bring this up? Because the commenters have really gotten me going this today. And let's just see. This is where I talk on TikTok. I say you should probably try to watch the YouTube version, or when I send out clips, I will try to add these. But some of this stuff right here, it's like, here we go. Here's some of the engagement on it's also interesting, the difference in platforms, where the YouTube audience is generally kind of nice. Right here is part of the engagement I get from the Facebook crew. You're not too bright, possessive, spelled your. By the way, Ron, you don't know how to spell. Or at least you don't know grammar. There's Randall, and the Venezuelan people around the world are celebrating. Yeah, around the world, not in Venezuela, because it's still run by the same regime right now. What does this lead to, right? This leads to war. This is what I have been talking about immediately. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, this can't be good, right? But oh, let's see. It just doesn't. What is it going to take? I've asked this before live here on Divide America. What messenger is it going to take? Seriously talking about the equivocation of taking out Osama bin Laden and grabbing Maduro for trial? There's no equivocation to that. Maduro, you can label him a narco-terrorist, but is he killing millions of people? No. Did he kill thousands of people in one shot? No. Did he take down the towers? No. Right? And I've said it plenty of times here again. I am not a far leftist nut. Just someone that has been shot at by small arms fire, but dodged mortars. And I think I have a bit of common sense. But sense is anything but common now. Now, history tells us, if anything, that this is more like the capture of Manuel Noriega back in the 1980s. Now, for those of you, I know there's a lot of you that love to do your own research. I'm going to post a link to the video. There's a great documentary called The Panama Deception. It's online. It's free. You should be able to find it since you're such good independent researchers. But I will hold your hand and give you the link, because 30 minutes in, it just shows like what an occupying force will do in a country. It showed us being the aggressor, and we're forcing Panamanians from their normal life. But that's our president pissing on the Constitution. I've heard it enough about Article 2 from you people, from you plebs. Dick Cheney's vision of a president that doesn't need rail guards is anathema to what this country makes great. It's the people, not one person. Now, I always try to bring up a pop reference culture. It's going to be on the YouTube feed. It's going to be on the other ones. I'm going to bring it up right now for the people to see it.
Why? You want to search my golf bag?
Open it.
Well, I will not. You ever hear of probable cause?
Oh, yeah, that's a real good legal.
What?
I see resisting arrest.
Oh, shit.
Hey!
This is now, because I came out immediately and stated how wrong it was to invade another country, the peanut gallery started to chime in. Now, here is another example. It's on the screen. Kevin Mack went on a tirade this weekend because apparently he said that I wasn't there, or I didn't see Iraqis cheering, right? Carl, Brett, anybody? You know, I'm sure there's plenty of people that can chime in on that. But I'll say to the camera what I said in the comments. Find your local VA, walk into the mental health facility. It's not great, but it's a start to your recovery. If you're commenting on someone online during a football Sunday about trying to debunk something that actually happened, dude, it's just one of those nuts that I read and laugh at when I'm literally watching them. I'm sitting there watching the Patriots win me money, and the Dolphins win me money by losing. But for those of you who are new and don't know me, I'm the one who you want in the foxhole. I've been shooting since I'm a kid. I was 34 out of 40 in basic training with the M16. It was cakewalk. So much so that the trainers trusted me with the 209 grenade launcher, the live round at the end of basic training. I worked in intel in Iraq. I worked behind enemy lines, asshole. But I'm sure you already knew that. Ty już znali, da? That I just said you already knew that in Russian because that's what we did. We did intel outside of the fobs. But you had your tank. That's good. It must have been nice to be inside of a armor. We didn't have armor. Now, one last thing about the commenters. One very last thing. I saw someone tried to demean me about one of my posters behind. Do you understand how childish you sound by trying to bring someone down because they like something? The worst thing about your ignorance is us sci-fi readers have either seen or read many of the plots the governments try to do to their people. I mentioned Andor recently. Watch Andor season 1 and 2. It shows exactly how a nation, or in this, it's an alliance, can go from democratic straight to autocracy. It's horrible. And this isn't a binary issue. We should be able to understand it's not one thing or the other, right? Now, did you see Stephen Miller go on TV yesterday? He looked. If it wasn't so crazy, I would say it would be fake. But he really did go on like Josh Lyman from The West Wing, right? Because he's the equivalent. He's the deputy chief of staff. Go watch what he said. You guys understand that they're not done, right? They're doing this for national security. This isn't conservatism. It's imperialism. You know, like the empire. After this break, I'm going to leave you with this quote because I said it to my boss at the FAA all the time. We're going south. I said that back in 2017 and 2018 when I worked for the FAA. I told Jim all the time, Jim Toomey, my boss at the FAA. Why? I don't want to think like these people, but I do. It's because I was Republican for a very, very long time. I understand the false pretense of saying that we have to protect our South by going south, right? That's what you guys think. I thought that we loved our military. I thought that we thought our military was the best, that we didn't have to worry about that. Why are we acting so weak? If we're so strong, then why the hell are we going into other countries? And now we're saying Cuba's on notice. Lindsey Graham looked unhinged on Air Force One. He was like giddy next to the president, talking about Cuba's next. We're just going to take over the Western Hemisphere. Like, I get it. I mean, I get it for some thoughts, but we're just going to run over people? Think about that. During a quick break, I'm going to take a super quick break. We're going to circle back around. This is going to be a shorter show today because I have a lot of things journalistically to do. Now, I've talked about, this is the difference. This is the commentary portion that is journalistically researched and edited. But I need to go into the field. I can't just sit here. I put in requests because the Rhode Island State Assembly. Well, you know what? We'll go into that into the break. We'll go back. We'll circle back into that when we come right back. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be right back with that. And we are back, or we've always been here. Now, like I said, we wanted to circle back to some of the things that we've talked about before, but we didn't have answers. I said I don't want to talk about things that I don't know about. So, in particular, one of the things I railed about was how I live in Rhode Island. I have to go to Massachusetts to gamble. DraftKings, Underdog, there's all these different gambling sites, right? But did you know the difference is it's all about if there's a house? So what that means is, like, I go to a poker game every month, right? And because there's no house, it's legal. There's no one collects all the money. The money is all distributed. Now that's what Underdog has changed their business model to do. Now, I don't know if any of you follow me and are Underdog participants, you'll notice that all of your bets were paid in full because they've closed their book in North Carolina to make it now what's called a predictions. They changed. We talked about semantics here before. Semantics, right? It's an invasion. It's not an invasion. It's an army thing. Hi. So, DraftKings Sportsbook works in the sportsbook places, but DraftKings Predictions, which I've tried it. Why? I opened it, didn't love it. They're trying to get around the regulations, and that's what Underdog did. Underdog closed their book in North Carolina and is now using a predictions model, and it's semantics. It's crazy. Now, speaking of semantics, let's circle back to something that we've talked about, hygiene, if you're watching. The pot thing. I'm still trying to figure this out. Now, I know a lot of the commenters like to say, read the Constitution, because I don't know, right? Yeah, right. I've no offense, guys, but I'm probably reading a little bit more than you, daily, monthly, yearly. So that's one of those no offense, but when someone says no offense, it's probably going to come with something offensive after. So, no offense, but take offense. I read more than you. Most of you. Some of you are, yeah. But just the commenters, the people who just blindly just start. But hey, should I only be allowed to take 1 ounce of pot from a pot store in Massachusetts? Or can I go get a case of Tito's? Right? Like that. I was telling my wife this because we were trying to prepare for New Year's. We had 26 people here for Christmas. I don't know if you saw some of the video and pictures I posted. It was great to be able to provide for so many people. I wanted to be able to provide also other things like edibles and stuff like that because it's legal now, remember? So, but it's legal, but it's not legal because it's legal, but only to a certain amount. You can only bring 1 ounce. So I can go to get the best prices in Franklin, but then I can't buy flour or edibles here locally because I've used my daily quota. There's no daily quota on alcohol, right? Is it right? There's a bodily daily quota that it'll kill you. Is there a bodily daily quota for pot? Me and Snoop have been trying to hit it for years. Like Snoop, I think I can hang with you. I don't do it here, right? I don't do it online. Can't do it. But before, after, it's what we are. But if I even attempted to drink like that, it wouldn't be good, right? We know what excessive drinking does. Kills you. Does excessive pot smoking gets you get the munchies, makes you somewhat happier, maybe anxious a little bit more, but that's what Zoloft is for, right? Now, as I stated right before the break, this is a journalistic adventure, not just adventure, it's a business. I don't even know why I say adventure, but it is an adventure in a way because I am by myself. And being by myself, I have to be everywhere. Now, today, the Rhode Island legislation starts up again. I want to be in that building. I want to see what lobbyists are doing and who they're talking to. I want to know what's going on pot-wise. I want to know what's going on COVID ventilation-wise. There's so many things that I have questions for, but to get access to that, I as you might have saw, I got access to the Providence police station during the Brown murders. Thank you again for the Providence communications team for that. I've reached out to the Rhode Island General Assembly Legislative Bureau. It's hi, if you end up watching this. Probably going to come down to Providence after this show to follow up on my email, because it's a show that I'm a serious journalist. I'm here in Rhode Island, and I want to be able to cover the news for you, for us, because things like this. I go to Massachusetts for my pod. Rhode Island, they won't get a dime from me because they've ruined the industry here. I used to have a medical card for a very long time, and then during the Raimondo administration, they changed the grant, the amount of inside of a vape from 1 gram to a half a gram. That little change screwed up all the manufacturing and pricing. So now for like a half gram vape in Rhode Island, you're paying like, I don't know, for a half gram, you're paying like $30. You're paying $16 in Framingham, Massachusetts for double the amount. It doesn't take a rocket scientist for someone that lives somewhat close to the border to never spend a dime in Rhode Island and spend every single tax dollar in the next state. So that's what it is. I want to be in the Rhode Island State House. I want to be in, the other thing that we're working on here. This is big, guys. This is actually kind of big. I was talking with a consultant, and we talked about covering the World Cup. I think that is going to be a fun thing this year. I love sports. If you have not followed, God, the dream is to interview Nicolás, because I do speak Slavic language, and I think I can get the best interview out of him, like a Sergei Bobrovsky out of Florida. Being to interview him would be amazing. But Haiti and Scotland are in the World Cup for the first time in a very long time. They're going to be here in Foxborough. So I'm going to work my bum off to try to get access to these teams, to the World Cup. Now, this is what I'm working on. This is just for the year. This is like more of like a year project. But like I have the local stuff with local legislation. I have the World Cup coming up here. We're going to try to structure our days a little bit more here. Obviously, we have Tuesday, we have the show. Wednesday, we're going to do follow-ups. Thursday, we're going to do more of a flex. Friday is Debunk Friday. Friday's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun one. All these clips are going to be online on either YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. I post everywhere. I'm trying to gain traction everywhere. I don't have a dedicated spot because why limit one place? Monday's focus for the week is going to come out roughly every Monday morning. And then, as you have been, I appreciate everybody coming out on another Tuesday morning. It's been a fun half hour. I've actually kind of enjoyed doing this now. It went from being very nervous on the very first episode to getting much more comfortable in front of the camera. I'm trying to get up the production value. I definitely have work ahead of me, but I appreciate everybody. Have a great week. Have a great new year. Stick around. We'll be here all year. Have fun, guys. Take care.